Hello everyone, welcome back. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Quick review. So far what we have learned is that in order to properly understand Islam, and what does Islam mean? Submission and obedience to God. We have internal beliefs, right? We have internal, and then we have external, okay? And what do I mean by that? Internal, things that only God knows. Nobody knows what's inside of your heart, and what do you really believe, right? What's your belief about God and other aspects, the unseen? And we mentioned 6 topics. There was a one quick lesson on all of those 6 topics, but those are God, then we had angels, and then we had the prophets, and then we had their message, right? The book, the scripture, and then we had what was the main topic on all these scriptures which all the prophets or messengers brought. It was talking about preparing ourselves for afterlife, and then the last one was the divine decree, or the will of God. And then now we're getting into the topic of external, right? Okay, now that I believe in God, and I believe that he has angels. Angels are doing a lot of work around our in our universe and outside, and we can't see them, but there's a creation out there which is basically doing all the actions and affairs of this world, but we at the command of God. But we don't worship angels. Only being that we worship is God, of course, Allah, right? And then we got into prophets, that we believe in all of them. Whether we know them by name or not, we believe in all of them and the message that they brought. And it was all universal message, which is Islam. Submit to one God, and surrender to him, and be his slave, and slave in a good way. Not saying that of course, slavery to money or human beings or creation of Allah is, of course, not something that's honorable. But being a slave to God, that you are going to do exactly what he tells you to do, is actually an honor. That he's the one who created us, and we're going to submit our life to him, and our wealth and our life and everything that we have, we're gonna use it in order to please him and obey his commandments in this short period of time that we're living in this world. So that was the main universal message, and talking about the afterlife, of course, and then the divine decree and will. This covers up all of our internal beliefs. But now let's get into external. And when we talked about Islam in a nutshell, our first video, we talked about, okay, what are some of the pillars? What we call them is the pillar of Islam. Pillar of Islam meaning pillar of submission. Now I have all my beliefs correct. Okay, what's next? Tell me what to do, right? So the first thing that you have to do is you have to declare it. It's kind of like saying, hey, I'm going to live in America. I'm the citizen. Now what? Well, you have to take your oath, right? You have to take your oath. You just can't keep it in. You have to show up to the court and say, I testify that I'm an American citizen, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to abide the laws of this country, and then I'm going to even give my life for it if I have to protect it, right? That's the declaration that you're making. Well, this is a higher level of declaration, because when you decide, hey, you know what, I don't feel like living in America, I'm going to move somewhere else, then you go to that country and you make sure you testify that, yes, I'm going to be a good citizen of this country, and I'm going to abide by the laws of this country. Now, when you are talking about living in this life, now you have to abide by the laws of God, the one who created this world, and the one who created you, and he sent you to this world. So testimony of faith is basically your declaration, your oath that, yes, I am a Muslim now, right? Now, I have written something in Arabic. Of course, this is not Arabic because you can read it. This is saying La ilaha illallah Muhammad. Of course, you can read Muhammad, and I'm sure you know what this is referring to, Rasulullah. So let's break this down a little bit. First, I'm going to take the first statement, and this is what you have to say in Arabic. And of course, you need to know what it means. I'm not going to tell you, yeah, now that you believe in all those 6 things, you're a Muslim. Say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, and now you're a Muslim, and you're like, yep. And You have no idea what you just said. So of course my job will be to clarify, what are you saying in this testimony of faith? So la ilaha illallah, what does that mean? There's two aspects to this testimony. The first part of it, there's affirmation, okay, and denying. So let's take care of the denying part. Okay, what are you denying in the first part? What you're saying is la ilaha, which means there is no God, or there's no deity. Now, is that a correct statement? Of course not. You know that there is a God. But the first statement that you have to say is there's no God. Now, I'm not telling you to be an atheist, of course, but what I'm saying is deny everything that you're giving power of God to. That could mean the talisman, this cross that you might be wearing as a necklace, right? Saying that, yeah, this cross is going to protect me during the bad times. Now, you're given this power, this supernatural power that God is supposed to have, this attribute, and you're giving it to this cross or this talisman that you're wearing. Same thing, you can say that about idols, right? That idols, I'm going to pray to them, I'm going to offer them some food, and these idols are going to protect me. Or if you need a job, you go to the God of, provision, and say, hey, God of provision, you have this big tail and you look like a monkey, and I'm going to worship you, and I'm going to put my head down and prostrate or bow down to you. Please give me a job. Please provide me food, right? But these are all the things that we believe that God is the one who's providing us with everything. So of course that when you are giving these powers of that are these attributes and these qualities that only Allah is supposed to have, only the God, as we explained in one of our videos, God that Muslims believe in. If you say that some of even one or two or any of those qualities are in something else of His creation, such as idols or stones or a cross or a necklace or anything like that, then you have basically made that into a God. But the first step is to deny everything, deny that there is no God, and then number two is affirm, okay, that Allah is the only God. Allah is the only God, or Allah is the only deity. A deity might be an old English for us, but it basically means being that is worshipped, right? Things with two P's. But so basically what you're saying is in this first statement that there's only one being who's worthy of worship, and that is God, and there's nothing else. La ilaha means there is no God, there is no deity except Allah, right? So that's the first statement. And now what you're saying is denying everything else and affirming in the second part of it. You're affirming that the divinity, this divine being, is only Allah, and He's the only one worthy of worship. Now, what does Muhammad Rasulullah means? Muhammad Rasulullah. Now, this is a confession again with your tongue, and then again, now let's take care of this part right here. All right, Muhammad Rasulullah. All he's saying is that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is his messenger. Or just, let's take this out. Muhammad is his messenger. What you're saying is Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, was a man, of course, who came in this world. He's no longer with us, but he is the messenger. He is he's the one who brought the message, again, just like other prophets as well, but Muhammad is the messenger of our time and until the day of the judgment, as we talked about in the lesson of prophets, that Prophet Muhammad is the seal of all the prophets. There's no prophet who's going to come after him. So once you testify that yes, there's no God, only God is Allah, that means, okay, now I need to abide by the laws that Allah has sent down. And those laws are sent down to who? Muhammad. And Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, is the one who is the last messenger. And I testify that Muhammad is your messenger, O Allah, O God. And that doesn't mean, again, we're not saying that we're going to worship him. Okay, because the worship is only for Allah, because in the first statement you just denied there is no God, including Muhammad, including Moses, and including Jesus. No, there is no God out there except Allah. So you're not saying Muhammad is a God, but you say Muhammad is a messenger, meaning if I want to worship Allah, if I want to be able to abide by the commands of Allah, commands of God, and live in this world according to the way he wants me to live, then I have to make sure that I follow the message that Muhammad brought. And that message, of course, is Quran, right? The holy book that Muslims follow. And I want to make sure that I am testifying with my tongue that there's no God but Allah, and Prophet Muhammad is his messenger. Now, of course, just merely saying that with your tongue does not make you Muslim either. There's some conditions. So let's move on. We're out of time. I want to make sure that all of these videos are less than 15 minutes. I know some of the videos might have been a little bit longer, but goal is to make it around 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. So we'll move on with the next lesson, which will be continuation of this testimony of faith, and we will be getting into the conditions of this testimony of faith.